All right, so welcome to Newbie Orientation. We're going to jump right on in. We are so glad that you are here. Pen and paper, and let's get it. We're not going to have any technical difficulties. If we do, we're just going to act like they're not there, right? We're just going to keep it moving. So welcome to the Money Squad. Congratulations to you, first of all. Congratulations to you for saying yes to yourself and for deciding that you do want to be an entrepreneur and that you want something different in your life and that you are willing to go into the space of discomfort to make something new happen for yourself. And so you've made the first step. The first step is the most major step, right? And the most difficult step. Well, could be the most difficult step in saying yes. And so once you say yes, right, you then have to launch. I want to pause the video because my presentation. All right, so listen, you've started your business. So you joined, you've made your investment, you started your business. And listen, I like to say that's one of the hardest steps. Like that's an insane amount of courage, right? To give your money, to invest your money to start your business. But let me tell you this, starting your business is not what builds your business. Starting your business is not what makes you money. Starting your business equips you to make money. Starting your business equips you to build it. But now that you've done that, it's important that you launch, right? I just love the example that I've been giving every week, and I'm going to keep giving them until I remember the name of the things. I should Google it, and I should put it in the presentation so you guys can see it. What are the name of the things that you see when you see a new business that's opening in your area? They make it very apparent that they're open. They got balloons outside. They got inflatable men outside, like blowing in the wind. They want you to know that, hey, we're a new business here, and we have a service that you need. That is what new business is seeing. Have you ever seen a new business open in your area? I don't care if it's like a McDonald's, right? They want to make sure that they know that you are there. So whatever service that they provide, they come to mind when you need that service, right? And so now that you've started your business, you've joined, now it's important that you launch. And I want you to remember that. Remember that in order for my business to grow, people have to know that I'm here, right? People have to know that I have something to offer. Okay, yes, she definitely got in that. People have to know that you have something to offer. And so really think about that every day. Like, I've taken the first step, I've joined, but it's important that I now launch, because it's in the launching that my business truly begins to grow. So I'm going to start off with introducing you guys to somebody super important here on our squad. This is our Ambassador Diamond Leader, Rachel Wiggum. And so I thought it was great for her to come in and speak to you guys. So just a quick moment, we're going to listen in this video.
Listen, this is a very big deal. I had to sit down for this one. Welcome to the world. Oh my God, just the best decision of your life. And I may be exaggerating, but not in my opinion, because I started this business 10 years ago. I am Rachel Wiggum, your Ambassador Diamond Leader. And that means that I hit the top rank of this company. And y'all, Jesus done brought me a mighty long way, because I started this business as a single mom who was robbing Peter to pay Paul with a master's degree, okay? And my son was in private school. I needed a way to be able to pay for private school, pay for my rent, pay for the water, pay for tuition, pay for all the things. I needed a salary. I'm here with a master's degree, and y'all not paying me the money. It didn't make sense to me. And so when I was invited to a party and I heard about a lady making $15,000 a month, I was like, ain't no way. I was blown away. And so right now I'm gonna tell you that God does exceedingly and abundantly more than you can think, ask, or imagine, because with no experience whatsoever, God did more for me. So here I was, this single mom sitting on this couch thinking $15,000 a month was insane. And God said, you think this is insane? I'm gonna give you more. And so honestly, at this point, my husband and I have made $1 million. Like, we've done all the things. He's retired. And I'm excited for you, because today you join Newbie Orientation, you deciding to show up for your business. Your story begins. Your story begins. I can't even begin to tell you how my life has changed in terms of my health, weight loss, being an advocate for my community and telling them and teaching them how to stay healthy and how to lose weight. But so much more than that, I get to help people dream again. Help people believe that God made them for more and then walk in that more. Help people do things and go beyond the limits that they put on themselves. Help people heal. Help people get to know who Jesus is. And so you're in the right place, baby. You're in the right place. Enjoy Newbie Orientation. And I can't wait to see you on Zoom. I can't wait to see you as a person and at an event. This is going to change your life. Give us a year. For real, like give it your all for a year, and I promise you this will change your life. Welcome to the squad and congratulations to you.
Yay. All right. So moving right along. And so, of course, you started this business. One thing, that's important to always remember that it is your business. Like you literally are a 1099 business owner. But what I love is that you've literally joined a mission. You're in this business for yourself, but not by yourself. And so we are literally a group of people with many different stories from many different walks of life, many different brackets, just all different education, single, moms, married, all the things, right? But we come together with a common goal. We all started this business knowing and believing that this business was going to be able to shift something for us financially, right? But what a lot of us didn't know is that we were going to come in here and know that we could have a mission, that we can have the mission of God attached to us. And so as ambassadors for Christ, by way of It Works, God has given us authority as official representatives of the kingdom to help others as we help ourselves get money God's way. And so we are super excited that we've been able to attach the mission of God to this team and really helping people to discover who they are in Him and through Him. And so this is our mission, which can be found in our team page, which is something that you'll be connected to and everything. And so just be excited. You're a part of something that is so big. And what I love is, yes, what we are doing is big individually, but when you have to connect with other people to do things, it's so much bigger, right? It's so much bigger. And so if you've ever felt like you're a person that didn't have purpose, just know that God knew that there was purpose in you, which is why He placed you here on this team, right? Which is why He placed you here on this team. All right, so getting to know, understanding your support system. So let me tell you, it is, one thing that I find with new distributors so often is this feeling of like overwhelmness or alone, like it's just so many things. No one understands what I'm experiencing, all of these different things, right, with new distributors, right? So I like to set it out there in the beginning to let you know that you are supported all around, right? You are supported all around. And it's so important that you know that, because there's going to be so many topics and man, so many different things, so many questions, confusion, all of the different things. And so support is going to make a big difference. And so one thing I want you to put in your notes is that I am supported, that in everything that I need in my business, that there is someone here to support me. I have a question about life. I have a question about this, that, or whatever. There is someone on this squad who is willing and openly want to support me, okay? And so just a little bit of verbiage for you to understand. So your enroller, I always say honor your enroller, right? Y'all give y'all enroller a little snap or something. But your enroller literally had the courage to share this opportunity with you. And as you work your business more and more, you'll understand that courage that it takes to ask people to be a part of this business with you. So your enroller is the person who brought you into the business. This partnership is huge. You get to connect with them in a major way. So make it a daily habit to keep the communication high. Right? So as business partners, one of the things to build the trust, one of the things to build the relationship, one of the things to truly partner to do big things is to communicate with your enroller. And guess what? You don't have to wait for them to say something to you, right? It's not that you're saying something to them because they're your boss, but that you just honor them and that we get to be business partners. And so your upline, this also is your enroller, but in some cases, it can be a person that your enroller is connecting you with to partner with to win. And so if you do have multiple uplines or different uplines, I'm pretty sure that your enroller will communicate that with you. And so many of you may have gotten an email from your diamond or above leader. Definitely this picture kind of shows some of our diamond and above leaders here at our last retreat that we had. But that diamond and above leader, they literally want to see you win as well. So they send you an email, go ahead and say, hey, send them a text message or an email back and let them know that you got it. So our Money Squad team page, which you should be connected connected to the team page via our boards. So go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments if you are connected to our newbie launch. In boards, an app that you were that should have been sent to you via the email or given to you by your enroller. You know what, do this, let's make it easier. Drop a 2 if when I say newbie boards, the launch, the boards app, drop a 2 of that if you have no clue what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and drop the link in there so that you can get in there, because that's literally where you're going to jump off your training. But our team page is our private Facebook community created to provide a vault of information, as well as a space for you to connect with others and ask questions. Our team page keeps you in the loop with updates, content, and important things to note for business. So be sure when you get in the Money Squad page that you do keep the notifications on. I mean, literally, there's so much amazing information in there. So be sure that you're connected. All right, and so every single month we do have a team calendar. Again, it's about support, right? Yes, this is your business, but let me tell you, there is nothing like being in the room with other people, right? And so in your particular city, right, it will evolve and be local events, and maybe you're the person who's going to evolve and have those local events in your city. However, we do have Zoom spaces to see that you can be connected. So take a look at this. I always say, look at the 6 a.m. power hour. All of these times are Central Standard Time. Look at the power hours. Like if you're a person who works a traditional like 8 to 5, a 9 to 5 job or something of that nature, I totally suggest that you make the 6 a.m. power hour something that you make a part of your life, because it's a great way to kind of jump off your day and get some tasks done. And so just look at this calendar, go put it in your calendar and make it a part of what you're doing. And so each month, the last couple of days of the month, a new calendar will be released. And so just make sure you're in the know about that. We have a lot of great events that are coming up. All right. Go stay upstairs with Lily. All righty, you guys are doing all right. So let's talk about something. This right here is so super important. And I know sometimes you're like, man, they go deep. Like, why they go in so deep? Like, why is it so important for them to go so deep? You know, there has to be something that is fueling you to build this business. Something that's making you stay up late to get on a late training, something that's driving you to get on a 6 a.m. power hour before work, something that's going to drive you to work your business when life gets hard, to work your business when you're sick, to work your business when you're experiencing grief, to work your business, right, when you're getting no's. There has to be something that is driving you. And so I want to make sure you understand how to develop a why. It is so important. Your why is the fuel to your rocket as you're launching your business. It's important to you. It's important you are real with yourself and your enroller on why this business has to be successful. And notice that the use of the words has to be successful. I want you to take it out of your mind that it would be nice. Like, this is cool, you know, a little extra money. I want you to put into your mind that those things that you've been wanting to create, those things that you've been wanting to accomplish in your life, that this business now has to be successful, because this is the way that those resources are going to be filtered into my life. And so we want to help you to develop that. And we want it to be hot. We want it to be honest, open, and transparent. When I first started this business, my life looked totally different than it looks now. I had moved to Atlanta. I was living with my in-laws, and I was living in a basement, and I did not know how we were going to free ourselves from the position that we were in, right? So when I started this business March 3rd of 2015, that was my first why. I wanted to be able to help my husband so we can get our own place. I was very clear about why I needed this business to work, right? So you have to be clear beyond the, oh, I want to make a little extra money, or be clear, like what do you want to change about your financial situation? So let's start with something small. What would, and drop it in the comments if you're okay with allowing us, you know, to be in your space of vulnerability. We would love that. Let's start small. What would an extra $150 a week do for you? We'll start small, an extra $150 a week. Drop that in the comments. And then what's that dream that your lack of time or finances have kept you from accomplishing? Like, what is something that you wanted to do, that that you wanted to get into, or you wanted to buy, or that's simply you haven't done it because you ain't got the money or the time to do it. What are those things? And so it's important that you get yourself in a space of dreaming. You put yourself in a space of reality of where you are, right? Not to be down, but that you can be clear on what you want to change. So what are 2 financial goals you desire to reach in the next 90 days? This is a very important question to be able to answer, because when you start making money in your business, we want you to feel the impact of making extra income. And how you best feel the impact of making extra income is being clear on where your money is going to go. So what are 2 financial goals you desire to reach in the next 90 days? And let me tell you this, it's so funny. When I first started my business, I told my enroller, I lied basically. It was the truth, right? But it was not where I was at. I told her, I was like, I want to make extra income to pay off debt, right? I did have debt. But here's the thing, if you can't pay your day-to-day bills, you're not ready to pay off debt. And so it's okay if your why is, I am struggling with paying the rent on time. I don't have car insurance. I can't, being very clear on what it is that you desire to change. So in the next 90 days, when you look at your financial situation today, what do you want to be different in the next 90 days? And so you don't have to share it all here, but be prepared to share this with your enroller, because this is going to be a place of driving you. Why are you going to send the messages? Why are you going to share the business? Because your why is worth it. So let's take a look at these 2 ladies that we have here in this. I'm just going to do Day today. Day is on here today, and it's so important to know that when we hear people's stories, their success stories, and all of those different things, we typically only look at the success. Right? We only look at the success because that's the part that people share. People share the success. And on social media, we get to see the highlight reels of people's life. And so we think that we're the only people that got stuff going on in life, right? We feel alone in our stuff. And so when people get into the business and life starts to happen, and they get overwhelmed and all of those different things, they find that as a sign and as permission to quit. Right? That when life gets hard, that is not a permission to be a quitter. Right? When life gets hard, that's a permission to go harder, because resistance will push you much further. And so when we think about Day, it's hard to believe, I say it every week when I see Day in this huge truck, that she was a truck driver, a young girl, truck driver, looking for a way that she would have some bit of like freedom in what she was doing, but making fairly good money, right? But of course, there was a lifestyle that was attached to it. There were moments that she were missing, and they wanted to lash out on her for wanting to be present with her grandma. And if I tell her story completely right, not being close to the people who were close to her during very vital times in life. And so she made the decision that I can't do this anymore. But what's so important to know is, yes, Day has found success in the business. Yes, she has been one of our record holders for success bonuses earned. She has done very well in her business, but there's an in-between when you see this before and after. Day has had to commit to her personal growth. She's had to go through different things in the process, and all of those different things to lead her to that point to where she is today. And I share that to say that when you hear people's story of how they started their business from where they are to where they are now, there's always a middle part of that that's called their process. There's always a middle part that's called their process. And their why was the very thing that fueled them to continue on with the process. And so even over here with Rachel's story, we just heard Day's story. With Rachel's story, she started off as a single mom. Although she had a master's degree, the money wasn't mastering, okay? She wanted to give her son a great life, and she just couldn't make the money match, right? She couldn't make the money match. She was a single mom, doing all that she could to simply keep her son in private school and give him a great life. And so she started this business with the hope to simply be able to keep him in private school, right? And then when you look at the after, right, there's 3 more children. There's a dog that's not pictured, her husband, and in a custom built home that they built because of It Works, right? But in between that is what you don't see, right? You don't see the people quitting on her. You don't see the no's. You don't see the infertility. You don't see the sickness. You don't see the death of her father. You don't see all of those things. You see the before picture and you see the after. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because she decided that her why was strong enough to continue to push through as life was happening to her. Now imagine if she let one of the events of life cause her to stop. Would she have this home? Would she have been able to afford the fertility treatments to bring her babies here? Right? Would her husband still be working in that job? Right? And so we can't let when life begins to happen, right, and those feelings of discouragement be the things that keep us from evolving into our after. So I'm excited for you guys to be open and honest about your why with your enroller, and don't be afraid, right? There's nothing that you can say to us that we've never heard, right? Don't be embarrassed about where you are in life, right? The only thing you should ever be embarrassed about is if you're unwilling to change it. Okay, but don't be embarrassed about where you are. You are now in the position to change it. And so now let's talk about developing your product story. Okay, this is so important. So many of you are new. You've never tried the products before. You really don't know how to step forward, just all of these different feelings around it, right? And so something that's so important, no matter who you are, whether you're super small and you're like, I don't need to lose any weight, whether you have a weight loss journey, whether you want to grow hair, you're pregnant, no matter where you are, what you're experiencing in life, you have the ability to build a product journey, right? You have the ability. What building a product journey does for you is it creates authenticity. You become authentic, right? You are not the person who wants everyone to buy from you, but you don't want to buy from yourself, right? It creates content for you. What do I mean by that? When you're using the products, you know what to share with people in your social media. You know what to share with people at your job because you're sharing your journey. And what do I mean by that? If we take Robin, for example, how she shares her business is her journey. She's lost over 100 pounds, right? I love it because she was able to start her business with where she was then, right? It's not about being perfect. It's about your journey to becoming a better you. And so she's been very open about that journey. So how has it created content for her? She posts about her meals, about her intermittent fasting, about the ups and the downs of weight loss, about buying new clothes, recipes when she's using the products, when she's working out. And so what it does is she has a story that she's able to share with people that makes it authentic. And it's an easy introduction into the products, right? An easy introduction into the products. And guess what? That journey got her all the way to diamond, right? To diamond. And so as she evolved and became this diamond leader, she was losing weight. She was working on her. And so know that committing to working on you is top two of building a successful business. Remember that working on me is my highest form of respect and the fact that I want to build the business. How do I build my business? One of the top two ways I build my business is by building me and taking care of me, because people will see you and they want to know what you're doing. And so we do highly, let me tell you this. If you desire to be successful in this business and to make great money, you should have a monthly subscription with the products, period. All right. As a results-driven business owner, you should be running an 80 BV. BV, write this down, BV. BV stands for bonus volume, right? That's the value of a particular product, okay? It's the value of a product. What do I mean by that? Something can cost $100 and be 80 BV, right? So here's what I don't want you to do. Don't go get overwhelmed about knowing the BV of each of the products. We do have reports and things of that nature and invoices that will show you the BV of the products. And so when you go to set up your monthly subscription, you just want to make sure it says at least 80 BV. You get to control this. It gets to be products that you want to. You can run it any date that you want. I do suggest running it within the first week of the month. If you're just joining this month, you don't have to technically run an auto shipment this month. However, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and run an auto shipment this month so that you can begin to explore some different products, okay? And so make sure you get with your enroller. The training will walk you through it, but make sure you prioritize getting that subscription set up within 24 hours. Remember, the day that you set the subscription up is not the day that you're charged, right? You're just setting it up, right? And no matter what, keep it set at that 80 BV. And so what are your personal health and wellness goals? Make sure you write that in your notes and you share that with your enroller. What are your personal health and wellness goals? Because remember, working on you is a part of building your business. So be clear on it. And remember, health and wellness is not always just weight loss, right? Perhaps you want to lower your blood pressure normalize your blood sugar. You have been dealing with some stomach pains. You want to grow your hair. You want to clear your skin. You do want to lose weight. You want to tighten and tone. You want to feel better. You want to have more energy. You want to have a healthy pregnancy. You want to, whatever those things may be, right? You want to make sure that you have a health and wellness goal that you're going to commit to. Like, commit to it. Commit to using your products, and what will happen is talking about your products will come that much easier. Why? Because you have become your own best customer. So say that to yourself. If I want people to be loyal to me and buy from me, I got to give that same energy. I'm going to be loyal to me and buy from me as well. Okay, so get those subscriptions set up. I can't wait to see you guys before and after pictures, clear skin, tighter stomach, more energy, less stress, all the things, right? You have an amazing product line. Make sure that you patronize it. All right, everybody doing okay? Everybody doing okay? Doing all right? Take a breather. You got a lot of information. Let me check the comments and see if I have any questions or anything so far. All right. I love this, some of the things that you guys are sharing. Someone said health insurance, help me get off government assistance, investment. What are you investing in? Diapers, wipes, gas, groceries. Love it. Or should be investments in your business. I love it. Be very good. All right, your first goals, right? Listen, now it's time to get to the money. Okay, let's get to the money. You know what? I said I was going to do this because I don't want to miss this slide. I'm going to come back to this. I have great reasons, and I should have skipped this. We're going to talk about the day in the life of a distributor. Okay, and I'm going to come back to that slide. You know, what does it look like? What's the day in the life of a business owner, of a distributor, right? What do you do, right? And because the results come in the consistency, results come in the day-to-day wins. Small wins compound and make big wins. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements, great gains slowly over time. Okay, that was John Maxwell. So I want you to remember this acronym. Okay, remember this acronym. You ready? Y'all ready to remember this acronym? All right, the acronym is SDPD plus PMF. SDPD plus PMF. All right, so let's kind of talk about this. And so one of the things, you should be functioning your business 6 days a week. It'll look different for everybody, but you should be functioning. You should be open, right? A closed business don't get customers, okay? And so this here really and so this is how you kind of measure your productivity and what I'm doing. And so let's start with the top, the SD plus the PD. And so one thing that we're going to talk heavily about on this team is working on you. Working on you. Working on you. You are the proprietor of this business. Your mind and the development of your mind and growing spiritually and personally is going to be a direct reflection of your ability to grow in your business, a direct reflection of you being able to sustain in your business in the midst of process and life and all of those things. And listen, it just feels good to be evolving, right? I don't, listen, if you know, it feels good to man, I'm really getting better. I'm really evolving. And so personal development is all about your growing mind. This business is 90% mental, expanding your mind to see different perspectives and really taking a look internally will bring forth outward change. So most people wonder what's the difference between personal and spiritual development. If I can answer in a short way, the difference is practical explanations versus spiritual. One thing I love about spiritual development too, it does have its sense of practicality as well. And so listen, the question that we will always be asking is, what are you reading? One thing that I've learned and I will always ask to be growing in this area is I want to be consuming. The most of what you're consuming should be a reflection of what you want to be reflected in your life. Does that make sense? The most of what my brain is getting should be things that I want to then, I then can be okay if I saw it in my life. Because our brains, they take whatever we feed it. I heard it put like this before, and I thought it was so good. Have you ever heard of a person like committing a really like terrible crime or just something terrible? And you would hear the people that know them say, I didn't know that he had that in him. Like I would never have guessed that. Right. But oftentimes the things that our brain is just overly consuming, it's in us. And so what do you want to be in you? What you want to be in you should be the same thing that you want to come out of you. This is not to say you won't be entertained, right? And watch your favorite show from here and there and a show that has some particular drama that you don't want in your life. But it won't be the top of what's happening in your life, right? I'm not watching more shows about violence than I am about reading books that will help me to develop personally. And so one thing I try to ask myself before I watch TV is like, what have I done that it will grow me? Have I read my Bible? Have I read my personal development? Have I read anything that will edify me? And so sometimes it's something simple as choosing to turn the radio off and listen to an Audible book or listening to a podcast, because growing your mindset is intentional. So when you meet a person that's able to shift towards the positive, right? Or a person who's able to live beyond their feelings, they probably spend a lot of time growing their mind. So moving on from here, you should be engaging in personal development daily and push to start reading one book a month and figure out what works in your life. Sometimes I'm in a season where Audible just works because I have these kids, right? But when I read Audible, I do try to still take notes. Yes, this may mean that you'll have to give up some TV time, some radio time, etc. But I promise you, your mind growing is worth so much more in the long run. I always say the creator of Netflix probably would never go on a Netflix binge, because to have had that level of creativity to create a streaming service that was the inspiration for so much streaming TV, you had to have been focused. And so some of the greatest things that we consume in life, the people who created it had to have focus, right? And so if you're not a reader, download Audible where you can listen to the book. Okay, so your first book that we do suggest is a GoPro by Eric Worre. There's many ways you can read it. There is free YouTube. There's free, you can read it free on YouTube. We have access to it in our team page. But read the book, like really read the book and say, you know what? I desire to be more developed personally. I desire to be able to see the abundance in life. I desire to be able to live beyond my feelings. I desire to have an elevated mind, right? But know that that desire is intentional, right? And so today, even if you're not a reader, you've just become a reader. Why? Because your personal and spiritual development has become top priority. Top priority. All right. So posting. Of course, we heavily use social media to build our business. Social media is amazing because it allows us to be open and all over the world. It allows us to be open at, all times of the day. And it allows us to take our businesses wherever we go, right? Wherever we go. One thing I do suggest, right? Don't fill your page with It Works distributors, right? But some leadership, your enroller and some leaders, get some people who can inspire you, right? Inspire you in how to post, and just follow them, right? So that you can be inspired, so you can see their consistency. And so this is a way to say that I'm open. People, it's like your storefront. Your social media page has become your storefront. So I do suggest that it's your name so people can find you, right? I know you may be cute baby 2025, right? But you are a business owner and I want people to be able to find you, right? To find you so the money can go to the right person. Okay, so here's a way to kind of develop your social media. And of course, there's all different kinds. I say focus in on what you're able to do before you start adding a bunch of new. Focus in on getting great. And then you can, if you're a person who has Facebook and Instagram, you don't have a TikTok, maybe get great at the two, then add that later so you don't overwhelm yourself. Okay, so the first thing is personal posts. You started a business, but you have not gone away. Okay, you have not gone away. You are still you. You are still you. That's what makes your difference different from mine. That's what makes my business different from Day. That's what makes Day's business different from Kaylin's, right? Is who we are individually, right? So it's important that we still express who we are, right? Who you are, what do you do? What are your top 5? If I told you guys right now, you don't have to do it though. If I told you guys to go look at my page right now, I believe that you probably could tell 5 things about me, right? You'd be able to tell that my daughter does gymnastics. I post a lot about that. You'd be able to tell I'm on a weight loss journey, that I'm on the worship team at my church, that I have a health and wellness business, right? You would tell that I like to cook, right? You would, tell it like quotes, like what are some things that people can know about you, right? And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I don't know, maybe you know how to cook really well. Maybe you do your hair really well. Maybe you're a mom and how you mother your children and set boundaries and balance it all. Who are you? Personal posts, product posts. Post your experience with the products and why you love them, right? All of you, no matter which business builder kit that you got, if you got the slimmer kit, you got the slimmer. Post about that, or be inspired with other things that you see people posting, but post about your experiences with the products and why you love them. And it doesn't have to be extra. You can go on live and you can literally read the back of the packaging. You can go on live and say, listen, I just started drinking the greens today. And let me tell you, at first the taste kind of shocked me, but I mixed it this way and I love the way it made me feel. And I love that I was able to get just some fruits and vegetables real quick. Next time I'm gonna try it in a smoothie, right? It's not about sounding all profound. It's about being you, but sharing so people know that what you have to offer, right? Lifestyle posts is how the business is impacting you. Even if you just started today, you have a story. Your story is what made you say yes. Impacting you, your success, your wins, and you can even share the success stories for other people. And then business posts. These are posts that are inviting people to be a part of what you're doing. So here's what's so amazing. In our You Started, Let's Launch group, we're going to be helping you do these things. So if you're not connected to that group, Dave, if you're able to put the link of the group, of the Facebook group that is specifically designed, for you, you need to be a part of that group. In that group, it's going to give you daily tasks. It's going to give you posts that you can make. And that group is literally designed to help you to learn how to do SD, PD, how to do all of those things every day. So be highly engaged in that group, because literally that group is helping you develop a muscle of what it looks like to be a distributor every day. You should be so tuned in on that group. You should be doing all the tasks within that group, because that group is spelling it out, what it looks like for you to be a distributor, okay? So get in that group. If you're having trouble and don't fully understand the group, that's when you go in and tell your enroller, like, listen, I'm in this group, but it does not make any sense, right? We will not and we cannot read your mind. When you don't ask a question, the assumption is that you know. Remember that, because y'all smart. So when you don't ask a question, the assumption is that you know. All right, messaging. Y'all go down, it goes down in the DMs, right? That's where customers are signed, right? Every single day, in order to get a yes in any area of life, in order to hear yes, a question has to be asked. Somebody has to call your name. To get a yes, you have to ask a question. And so in your newbie launch and in the boards, right, there are going to be a lot of tasks that are centered around asking. I need you to promise yourself that you won't skip over these things, even in the discomfort of building a 25 list and being encouraged to send a particular message to family members. Messaging that is teaching you how to get other people to post for you through host to post. All of these different tasks that we have developed, right, to help you begin to messaging and begin the conversations. It may feel uncomfortable. Why? Because maybe you've never done it, right? Maybe you've never done it, but every single thing that we give you is so that you can get a win. Every single thing that you do, but it's in the consistency. I always say this: if you did a task once and it didn't work for you, that does not mean that the task does not work, or that the task is ineffective, or that the people that you're talking to doesn't want it. It just means that you just need to keep doing it. If everything worked well the first time we did it and everyone got the best response the first time, everybody would be ambassador, which is the highest rank in our company if you don't know. So it's about doing it and then doing that over again and then doing that over again. And then remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. What do I mean by that? You may present something to someone today, but it's a bigger chance that they will say yes when you follow up with them, not at the initial conversation. Okay, not at the initial conversation. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna take it back. I wanted to make sure I got through that. And so we're gonna talk about your first goals, right? How you get into the money. Okay, and so let's talk about it. So here's gonna make your first $500. And here's the thing. The reason why I say first is because it could be a second, it could be a third, it could be a fourth, it could be a fifth, so on and so forth. It's just your first. And so how you make the first can be a part of how you make the second. Remember that. Okay. Even if you're outside of your 30 days, who cares, right? It's a brand new day. So the first thing is your first goal is to sign 4 VIP customers. Okay. Ideally, remember we talked about VV? Those customers would be 50 BV, right? But guess what? I want you to put, I need to sign 4, but I'm going to sign 6. Put that in your notes. Put 6. 4, they say 4 and 1, but I need to sign 6. Okay, so you want to sign these 4, we're going to say 6 VIP customers, right? And the idea is we do love to give people an experience with our products, because when we allow our products to work synergistically, people get elevated results. And so your goal is to get people to walk out with 2 or more products, but do not shy away from the people who just want one. And so a VIP customer is someone who signs with our one-time membership of $19.99. Right now, it is half off, so the membership cost is only $9.98. Okay, and this gives them full access to our product line. This gives them their instant discount. This gives them first look at our new products and sales, an easy ordering system, all of those things where their products come straight to their doorstep, all of those different things. So it just literally unlocks things for them, including a free gift that they get at the time of enrollment. And so your goal is to sign 4. But we're an abundant team, so we're going to sign 6, right? And so once you do that, you're then going to work on signing your first team member, right? Someone who does what you and I do, okay? And listen, don't be afraid of this part. We are here to support you. When you sign your first team member, guess what? They're going to come on Newbie Orientation with you. All of the resources that you have to help you grow, they will have available to them as well. And so you're going to sign your first team member, and we're going to help your team member do the same. And once you do that, let me scoop back. Once you do that, you earn your first 150. So write down 150. So every time you sign 4 customers in one distributor, and those 4 customers, there are some stipulations, like you want to have 300 in volume. And so maybe it'll take 6 customers, right? As long as you have the 300 in volume, but at least 4 of them, we want to be that 50 BV. Okay. And if that doesn't make complete sense, you know, we can do a breakdown with your enroller or myself or whatever. And so once you've done that, you've earned what we call a tier 1 bonus. You've got your first $150. Kudos to you. And now that team member that you signed that got you your tier 1 bonus, guess what? We're going to teach them how to do the same thing. We want to help them earn their first tier 1 bonus. Okay. When they earn their first tier 1 bonus, guess what you get? A tier 2 bonus, because you help them make money. And a tier bonus is $350. You can complete that cycle as often as you like. In fact, when you complete the tier 1 cycle once, you can attach 3 distributors to that and get $350 for each of them. So these are paid out weekly on Thursdays through the MyaWorksPay.com pay portal. When you're paid for the first time, you will get an email that is sent to you. If you don't see it, check your spam, but you'll get an email sent to you, and that will then lead you to activate your pay portal so that you can pay yourself for the first time. All right. Now here's the thing. Okay, guys. Listen here. Drop a Ruby in the comments if you already have this chart printed, or you may have the other Ruby chart, but drop a Ruby in the comments if you have this printed. Okay. If you weren't able to drop Ruby in the comments, I need you to promise yourself that you're going to print this chart no later than tomorrow. If you don't have a printer, you can figure it out, right? You go to Office Max, UPS Print, the library, print it, okay? Print this chart. Print this chart. This chart is the key to your $500 bonus and the advancement of your business. What is a Ruby? I'm just going to say it simply. I want you to print your chart, and I want you to promise yourself that you're going to get with the person who enrolled you and tell them, I would like to go over a plan of action with you to make sure this happens for me this month. What is a Ruby? A Ruby is you. I'm going to say you. You are a Ruby. So Ruby is a distributor who has 3 distributors in their organization, 3 distributors that you've signed. And each of those distributors get started in their business and hit 400 in sales. And as a team, the 4 of you have 2,000 in sales, and that unlocks a $500 bonus. What does bonus mean? Bonus means in addition to, meaning the slide before, that was another $500 bonus, but a Ruby residually on average makes about $474 a month. So you have the ability within your first 30 days to make well over $1,000 on your side hustle. But let me tell you this, it's going to take intentionality. It's going to take you to seek it. People who promote are the people who go after it. And you don't have to go after it alone. You're connected to people who highly understand how to do this. And they want to help the people who want to be helped and who are willing to partner with them and do the work. There's a lot of money on the line. And of course, we have some other bonuses that are also out there. We have bonuses that go all the way up to $100,000 with our Beyond bonuses. And so as you go in your app and different things like that, then it will talk about that. But this month, I want you to highly focus on getting that $500 bonus, and to unlock and talk about the other bonuses, a conversation that your enroller will have with you. So just a little bit of extra sauce, and we're going to get off of here. Take a day off. You'll see in your training that it will talk about taking the day off. It's so important to reset and to refocus and give a day for God to do what he does. Even the God of the universe, he looked at everything that he did over the 6th day and he said, it is good, and he rested. And so I want you to work in a way that you can look at your 6 days and say it is good and totally rest and say, you know what, I'm going to let God do what he's going to do on this day of rest, right? And on those day of rest, I do suggest you disconnect you from your social media, right? And just truly being present. Another thing is set boundaries. What do I mean by set boundaries is it's not about balancing your time between doing all of the things, being mom, being a student, all of the things that you have, right? It's about setting boundaries. What does that mean? And this is something that I'm always working on. When you're cleaning the kitchen, clean the kitchen. You don't have to send host to post messages and clean the kitchen, then go send the host to post message, right? Make it very clear what's important for you. If you're working, if you have a job that you have to be completely present, be okay with just being at work. And then on your lunch break, you're going to do your business, right? And so set boundaries in your life so you're not overwhelmed and so that you can get things done. Another thing is we have amazing gear that you can see on your website. It Works Gear. It's a great way to really to wear your business and to wear your gear. And the last thing is go outside. What do I mean? Go outside. Yes, we have social media. Yes, social media is amazing, but you can talk to the person at the grocery store. You can talk to the person at the gym. You can take your kids to the park when it warms up, right? The same things that you do on social media, you can do in person, right? Let me tell you, when you're talking to someone in person, it's quicker. Social media has this gap of time that people want to build trust with you. When you talk to a person and this person in person, even if it's just like, hey girl, I met a girl at a lady at a gymnastics meet. She was sitting behind me, right? The seats was like super close. So naturally I just was having just a regular conversation with her. And we were talking, and every time you're in the room with someone, there's something you have in common with them in that moment, right? It is. I don't care if you're in the store. You can be like, man, these lines are always long at Walmart. You know what I mean? That's what you got in common right now. You're like standing in this line, right? And so what we had in common is both of our kids were in gymnastics. So I just had a natural conversation with her. And what was the next thing I said? Hey, let's connect on Facebook. Let me see your phone, because I wanted her to add me so that I can have to accept it. Let me see her phone. And I added her on Facebook. And so what did that do? That gave her my Facebook it's complete. So by looking through you know how you do when you get a new friend, what you do? You go look at their pictures. I hope she was all in my pictures so she can see what I do. So when I go to share this opportunity with her, she won't be surprised because she already knew I had the business. And so do not be afraid to be outside. Don't be afraid to be present when you are outside so you can start to foster relationships with the people who are around you. Okay, so don't forget that. Don't forget Sally at the cubicle next to you. Be stressed out. She needs some stressless gums. All right. Make your product in person. If you have coffee, you can make it at home or you can make it in the break room. You can make it at your desk with your little frother at your desk. What does it do? Your nosy coworkers, what you over there making with that little blender thing? Girl, this fat burning coffee. If you're drinking your greens, drink it in a clear bottle. So they're like, ew, what's that green stuff you're drinking? You know what I mean? So just be very open and be very open with your business. And so your life and who you are is what introduces people to the business. So who has questions? I did it at 10 o'clock on the dot. I'm so proud. Shout out to Brittany, Kaylin, Latoya, Bria, and Day for looking at me. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys.
I have a question.
Okay.
So if you don't get your ADBV, what should you do?
Say that again.
So you know how you recommended that we receive our ADBV for our auto ship. What do we do if we're not able to get the ADBV?
It's a great question. It's a great question. Let me tell you why it's a great question, because I felt that and I've been there before. Okay. Here's the first thing. First, you set it up in faith. Okay. Set it up in faith to a date out in the future, right? And then you just have to be intentional. First, you can learn how to set your auto ship in a way where it's the cheapest that it can be. What do I mean by that? Is work with your enroller to be strategic by what you put on there, because some things with higher gaps in BV makes it cost more of the dollar amount cost. And so be strategic, right? Sometimes you have to put a cleanse on there and then a lip and eye cream, right? It's cheaper, right? So that's the first thing, is be strategic with how you set it up to make sure that you can make it the lowest dollar amount as you can, right? The second thing is sometimes you got to do some evaluation and ask yourself, are there some places where I can peel from that I'm assuming that I don't have? What do I mean? I mean, look through your banking statement and ask and see how many times you ate out. Look through your banking statement and kind of look at some things in there of things that are pretty negotiable in your budget. Okay. We all have them, myself too, right? Like, man, I legit spent $100. I could have run auto shipping. And so sometimes it's being real with yourself and your budget, right? And saying, what could I have not done and what could I have done differently? Okay, so sometimes you are running it in faith, but when you look at your bank statement, you're like, you know what, I was running it in faith, but if I'm honest with myself, I probably would have spent that 110, that 130, that 140 on some frivolous things anyway, okay? The third thing I would say is be intentional about sample selling and things of that nature. What do I mean? Put something on your auto shipment that you can easily flip. Right? So things that are in packages, skinny brew coffee. And so maybe make a coffee post every single day, because you can earn coffee cash in advance and pre-sell it. What do I mean by that? If you're making coffee posts to make coffee and you don't have any coffee, as soon as you get the coffee in, you need to start mailing it out. And so start pre-selling and things of that nature. And so besides that, as you do start to get paid in your business, you have to just decide what you can then shift over to reinvest in your business, because you have to see the auto shipment as something that makes sure that you're commission qualified, right? But something that creates this, it's literally how you create results within your business. And it's literally how you become authentic as being a user of your product. Okay. And so what it is that I think the highest thing to do is really to check yourself when it comes to your budget. And then just decide that this is going to be, because what it does is, I know you guys have all heard it, that where your money is where your heart is. And when you're investing in your money in your business, it lights a fire. Like, I gotta get that 110 back. Right, I gotta get that 110 back. So learn how to sample sell, check your budget. right? Check your budget, meaning, do you know how, can you lose $10 a day? Anybody, can you lose $10 a day? Like, lose it. You don't think, who spent $10 today? Who spent 5? Y'all ain't spend no money today. Who spent $10 this week? All y'all have. So just look at where your money is going and saying, am I willing to shift some of that towards my business, right? And it could be just how you're blocking the money out. So set it up in faith, and then do the things to begin to figure it out. Now, obviously, you can hit $150 in PBV, $150 PBV, and you're naturally commission qualified. Okay, you're naturally commission qualified, but that question has to light a fire under you, because I don't want an ADB auto shipment to be a problem for any of us, because I've been there, but it lights a fire under me, right? The quickest way to earn to get the money for your auto shipment is to earn a tier 1 bonus, period. It's just then when the tier 1 bonus comes in, don't get amnesia. Don't get don't get amnesia when you earn it. Say, I'm gonna earn the 150 bonus so I can run my auto shipment. I'm gonna earn the 150 bonus. You probably will earn a 150 bonus quicker if you run the auto shipment first, because you're gonna be like, I need my money. Right? But practically speaking, put some wraps on there. Put some wraps on there. Wraps, you can sell 1 wrap for $30. It's 3 in a pack. It's $90. So if you got to do 2 bags of wraps, 2 bags of wraps will make you commission qualified for $50, but you can make 180 off of them. So you got to think like a business owner. And so if you're in the space where I can't necessarily run an auto shipment for my consumption, that's fine, right? Put the wraps on there. Because when I started my business, that's what we were selling, was wraps. And then you get good at selling wraps. I done wrap somebody at Panera Bread. I done wrap somebody in the parking lot before. I done wrap somebody at home. I just remember that day, like, specifically, because that was not that long ago, right? But you can really start slanging these wraps, and that's $30 per wrap. You know what I'm saying? And so do that. 2 bags of wraps. It's 50 BV. So you'll be commission qualified. Sell those wraps. So if you don't talk about the wraps, start talking about the wraps, and then you will profit. It's $180 you can make from 2 bags of wraps. So think like a business owner, not a consumer. You have to think like a business owner and buy a consumer. A hairdresser, they buy their shampoo and hair supplies before they know who's booking the next month. Same as a restaurateur. They get their stocks hoping that people are going to come eat. And so that's the uncomfortable part of entrepreneurship sometimes, is you have to do what others won't do, because you're going to get what others can't, because he did it. So that's my advice on that. But get commission qualified by getting to 150 BV, getting to 150 PBV, but keep the auto shipment set up, right? It's like a bonus requirement that it's set up. So keep it set up, but set it up in faith, and if you need to make the money, I would do wraps and coffee or something like that, something that you can easily resell. You got it, girl. That's a good question. That's a question that a lot of people have, but don't have the courage to ask. So I'm sure you just did everybody a favor. Shout out to you. Anybody else? Let's take 2 more, 10:08. Sharita, you good? Continue. Okay, go ahead. Brittany, sorry.
My question is with the payout portal. So I set it up and things like that, but it don't show anything right now. So I'm not certain if it's supposed to be saying zeros, or do it supposed to show like the bonuses that we
What was the beginning of your sentence? I'm sorry.
For the It Works payout portal.
Okay, so when did you start?
The end of last month, like the 28th, 29th or something like that.
Okay, so you have to have gotten paid to get it. So when you get paid for the first time, you will get an email. So if you've never gotten paid you won't get anything. Now, if you're talking about like if you worked last month and you had preliminary commissions, like we know, like we got preliminary commissions, commission is paid out no later than the 15th of the month. If you earned a tier 1 bonus, like you got the 4 and 1, though, that's all earned the following Friday. So let's say you earn anything you do until Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time is paid out the next week when it comes to the weekly bonuses. So once you're paid, again, the pay portal will send you an email, and in that email, then the money will be loaded there if you've been paid before. Yeah, does that make sense? So if you go into, did you get any sales last month? Yes. So if you, as long as it's over $15, if you log into your eSuite, Brittany, click commissions, and then it will tell you what your preliminary commissions are. And that will be paid no later than the 15th. If it's the tier 1 bonus, you'll get an email on a Thursday and saying, you know, your portal has been loaded with X amount of dollars. Did that answer your question?
Yes, I just did, because when I went onto the eSuite, like today, Rachel showed us what is the preliminaries?
Mhm.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, Rachel showed us how to see that today. And so it says something on the eSuite, it says the amount, but then on the portal, it says, so I was just trying to see, like,
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So no later than the 15th, you'll see it.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations. Shout out to you for starting at the end of the month and made money. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody got any questions? All right, guys. So I'm super proud of you. There will be a replay. If you have questions, remember to ask them. There is a newbie launch group. There's a general chat. Blow that chat up. Okay. Y'all want to make money? Ask people who make money. Okay. Make these people help you, because you got to get this money by tomorrow. All right. All right. So God, I thank you for these new distributors. I thank you, God, that they have decided to say yes to something new. And shout out to them for making this space a priority this evening. We just ask, God, that everything that they are learning, God, that they are able to comprehend it and implement it immediately, God, even implementing it without having full understanding. And so, Father, I just thank you that you have heard their prayers. I thank you that you're sending so much more into their life, God, in health and wealth and finances and in all the things. And so, God, we just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, have an amazing day.